Hello, Americans who like to eat. I'm Linda, and I want to talk about empty grocery shelves. They are coming, and sooner than we think. There's a 3,000 per day immigrant detention quota. 40% of farm workers in the United States are undocumented. You do the math. Farms are an excellent place to find undocumented immigrants to detain and deport, depleting the workforce. And now, those who haven't been rounded up are afraid to show up. Let's look at just one state, Texas. According to farmers, this issue has been affecting their farms for a couple of weeks, but overnight, it bottomed out. On several Texas farms, nearly 100% of farm workers aren't showing up. So what does that mean for you? Remember Trump's comment about having $2 instead of 30? Cows are milked 3 times a day. No workers, no milk, and some very unhappy cows. What if your grocery store, instead of getting 30 gallons of milk, gets 2? 28 families will not be able to buy milk. Now extrapolate that among produce. Produce that instead of being harvested is rotting on the vine. Texas is one of the top 10 producers of 40 major commodities. It is the 4th largest agriculture producer in the nation and 2nd in animal products. And it's not just cows not being milked and produce rotting on the vine. 1 in 7 Texans works in an agriculture-related job. If farms stop working, those jobs are affected. Workers not earning money aren't paying taxes. And yes, undocumented workers pay taxes. Without money coming in, they will cut back on things like restaurants and small businesses, movie theaters, wherever they spend their discretionary income. Last week, Trump ordered a halt to immigration enforcement at farms. But it may already be too late to solve the current problem. The lack of workers now mean farms won't hit full production this year. And if they lose planting now, there is nothing to harvest later. Yet, despite Trump's assurances, a few days after his statement, the administration resumed the raids. Vance says the administration plans to continue clearing the country of undocumented immigrants. Quote, "We're enforcing everywhere. In other words, you ought to voluntarily go back and come through the proper channels," unquote. That can literally take years. And frankly, it doesn't protect you from being deported. In the meantime, the question remains, how long are you willing to go without food?
You mean to tell me the farms in Texas are closing? Because they voted for their own staffs to be deported?
Immigrant farm workers are not showing up on farms in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, Florida, and California. In Texas, in particular, in the Rio Grande Valley, they produce many crops needed around the country, such as grapefruit, corn, citrus, oranges, all the vegetables, tomatoes, carrots, cabbage, onions are all grown here. And guess what? The undocumented workers are not showing up there. They're not showing up here in Florida, and they're not showing up in California. Now, I can hear you all say, you don't care, you're glad they're getting them. They're breaking the law, number one. They are criminals. They're not criminals. They are violating a civil violation, which is a fine or a penalty. It is not criminal, unlike the felon in the White House. That's a criminal. You will be complaining when you see no fruit, vegetables, and other crops in our grocery stores to eat. You will care when you see the prices escalate even higher. Isn't that the reason y'all supposedly voted for Trump? Because he was going to bring the prices down, and y'all could only complain about everything under Biden. I don't hear y'all complaining about these out of control prices anymore that we continue to see everywhere thanks to Donald Trump. And all the prices that we've seen go up because of the trade deals or no trade deals and the tariffs. Well, guess what? These prices are going up. Thank you, Donald Trump. You and Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller is such a genius. You know, he is the whole reason that we're having this whole problem, because he is so anti-immigrant. And by the way, his family came from Europe. They were persecuted as immigrants. And Elon, I did say Elon. Elon, how do you like hanging out with Stephen's wife? What do you think? Love to hear from my Democrats and my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and my burned out light bulbs. What do you all think? Only going to cost us more money, and to accomplish what? This is not a solution. It is the problem. Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are the problem. Dear, from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and our burned out light bulbs, let me know what you think. You like these higher prices and the food shortages you're going to see if this continues, and it's going to continue. They're not going to show up.
Hello, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really appreciate your love and your support. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa. Kindly consider subscribing. And today we are going to see how American farmers are crying, are speaking now, telling the world that very soon Americans are going to face food shortage, high prices, because their immigrants workers are not showing up to pick the crops, take them to the market, or keep them well as it's supposed to be, just because they voted against their own interests. So stay tuned, watch till the end. You're going to see a couple of clips that I've gathered for you guys. A credit goes to the original creators. Drop your opinions in the comment section. I'll be back with more commentary. Welcome.
So y'all remember when it was said that we taking all the black jobs? They really thought that we was going to be looking for black jobs, y'all. And I woke up this morning, I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw this guy made a video, and I saved it to my favorite, so you can go look for it. And he said he was pretending to be MAGA on one of those other apps. He said they were doing a live, and the farmers were saying that they thought that the black people would be looking for jobs to work on their farms. Now you gotta be kidding me. Do they think we really looking for farm work? Do they not know that we are educated and we got degrees? And being a farm worker ain't even in the jobs categories that we be looking for. They really don't know how educated some of us are. They don't know how many degrees a lot of us have. They got to be really lost if they think that we want to come and work on their farms. They don't know that our parents and our grandparents growing up wouldn't even let us be outside if it wasn't no shade outside. Do they really think that we gonna work on a farm where ain't no shade trees at? I hate to disappoint y'all, baby, but you're gonna have to get somebody else to do it, because we ain't working on nobody's farm. Never. The only way you gonna see black people working on a farm is if they own the farm, because we not working on nobody's farm as no workers. So I hate to disappoint y'all. If y'all thought those was black jobs that black people looking for, honey, you better think again, because black folks that I know got good jobs. We've had a black president, we had a black vice president, we got black senators, we got black congressmen, we got black CEOs, we got black doctors, we got black nurses, we got black psychiatrists, we got a lot of good black jobs. Now, I don't know what y'all thought we was going to be farm workers for. We don't even want to work in the fast food industry. Those jobs, we don't want those kind of jobs. So, I hate to disappoint you MAGA people, but we don't do farm work. So get somebody else to do it.
Like Lee Calvert agree there's no place in America for migrants with violent criminal backgrounds, but wishes there was more gray area.
And I think there needs to be a distinction made in a pathway for the people that do want to come here, obey our laws, integrate into our societies.
That's not what this administration wants. That's what nobody, honestly, in MAGA, within the voting field, within the Republican Party, that's not what they want, guys. This is explicitly said within their campaign. They said they want all illegal immigrants, regardless of what you do, regardless of anything. They want all illegal immigrants gone. And then their talking points was, oh, they're criminals. Oh, they're stealing our jobs. Oh, that was their talking points. In a MAGA, you guys bought that. Y'all bought that, regardless of what it meant for your entire business, no matter what it meant for your entire life, you bought it. And now it wasn't a bait and switch. He was completely honest. You know, initially I was like, oh, he tricked them into voting, but no, it wasn't. He talked about this directly into the campaign. Now that it's affecting you, now it's, oh, we wish it was more gray area. And shout out to him. There's nothing, I'm not directly talking to him. I'm talking to farmers as a whole and MAGA that is now regretting their vote. Now that it's affecting you, I wish there was more gray area. I wish there was more of a system in place. But, shout out to him, for coming on here and speaking out about it, because it's very true. It's very sad what's going on, not sad in a way of their decisions that they made, but I'm sad it's sad in a way of like, these are lives being affected. These are families being destroyed, like these are people who genuinely came into the country to work very hard for a livable wage. And, this is what happens.
Many Americans say that you are a criminal for being here without documentation. What do you say to that?
No podemos ser un criminal.
No, we couldn't be criminals. We know that we arrived without status, but a hardworking person who works in the field and puts vegetables on your table can't be a criminal.
What do you want the rest of America to know about you and others who work in agriculture, may not have their papers, but are going out there every day and working?
A pesar.
They should know that despite the risk we run of being detained by ICE, we keep going to work out of necessity. And thanks to that, they continue to have fruits and vegetables on their table. They eat and live off of the risk that undocumented people take.
MAGA, you say that they were stealing your job. Well, the farmers are waiting for you in Texas because there's not a crop worker anymore there. So you better get your shit together, wake up at 6 o'clock, finish at 10 o'clock at night, and pick up these fucking vegetables and fruits because they're gonna get rotted and you guys not gonna have anything to eat. And it'll be more expensive. So move your ass and get there and start helping the farmers. Okay, MAGA? That's what you wanted, right? You voted for that. So this is the guy from the other side of the border. Just can't believe it.
Welcome back. All these farm workers are now disappeared. Yes, because it is said to be 100% that these American farmers are experiencing labor shortage, and now these crops are ready, but no one is there to reap. We're all wondering why all these MAGA people who voted for mass deportations are not showing up, because they knew that a big number of these farm workers are illegal immigrants. So today they are scared, not only illegal but also legal immigrants. No one is secured, no one is feeling safe, because it's not the first time you hear even legal immigrants are getting deported. And we know how ICE raids is hunting them down. That's why these farm workers are not showing up, are not getting out, because they are scared to be detained. I don't know what you think about this challenge, because you cannot tell how mature people, grown people, who knows the best for their lives, who knows what they need, who knows where they benefit from. I mean, to those illegal immigrants who were passionate to work in farming fields, but now they are getting deported. So whom were you expecting to replace them? Okay, most of you have been saying that these illegal immigrants have taken away Black American jobs. Probably you've been thinking that these Black Americans are going to replace the illegal immigrants, but where are they? And let's just leave them. Those who voted for mass deportations, where are you? It shows that you don't want to work in the farms, but you also need food. You need healthy meal, you need veggies, you need fruits, you need groceries, everything that is already in the farms, but you don't want to go and pick them. Why? Now your fellow American farmers are furious. They don't know what to do, because they can see bankruptcy coming forward to them, and they can't run away from that, because they have already started to see the loss coming to them. I don't know if you have ever visited the farm, or if you have a farm. If the crops are ready to reap and they don't get picked early, or when they are still fresh, that's when they start to spoil. And that's why I'm telling that these farmers are already experiencing loss in their business. So Texas MAGA farmers, let me tell you the truth. You betrayed yourselves. You went ahead and voted for betrayal, you voted for racism, you voted for hatred, but you hated yourselves. See what is happening now after voting for this guy. You are not happy for what you did. You are not proud of your choices. And even those who are getting deported are not happy. So, what can we do? It's too late to change, but there is a second chance after 4 years ahead. So listen, the truth is, many of these farmers voted for policies that sounded so sweet, very good on papers, but now came back to hurt them. And now these farmers are facing a very hard reality that America's farms need immigrant labor, global markets, and government support to thrive. So maybe it's time to rethink what America First really means for the heartland. Guys, without taking much of your time, allow me stop by here. Let's continue our conversation in the comments section. Drop your opinions, kindly feel free. I don't know how you take this, but it's not a joke. It's a serious challenge that cannot allow us keep our silent. So let's share our ideas. Leave a like to the video if you have enjoyed. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet. It was your girl Vanessa. See you in the next episode. Bye.